All right, welcome back to Cooking with Legs. So, the weather's going to do what the weather's going to do, right? Isn't that what they say? I was originally going to barbecue some pork loin, but we're going to have a really nasty storm roll through here tonight. So, the grill is out. I do have the pork loin prepped already. I cut off the silver skin. I went ahead and just seasoned it with essentially a barbecue rub. But instead of using the grill, we're going to pan sear it later and throw it in the oven to finish it off. On the side, we're going to do a roasted garlic mashed potato and some mushroom cream sauce. Little fancy. I mean, this is actually, if you are looking to impress a bunch of people and you're, date night kind of thing, this is really perfect for it. Pork loin is one of these things that almost appears very elegant. It appears rather upscale, but it's cheap to buy and it's easy to make. And you can legitimately flavor it with just about anything and get anything you want out of it. If you get a real thick one, you can stuff it, and I was going to try doing that, but I couldn't find any of them thick enough to be able to butterfly and stuff. So these are kind of borderline, but they are going to be just fine seared and baked, especially with that sauce on top. It's going to be great. And this is a perfect kind of a date night thing or a weeknight thing because it doesn't take long at all. It might take 5 or 6 minutes to sear, 15 minutes to bake, and then you're done. So for a weeknight meal, this fits the bill there too. Anyway, without any more jaw jacking, I'm going to start prepping. I just have to slice up some mushrooms and dice half an onion, and that's all I need to prep for the sauce. So this is going to be really easy. So let's get going with that. What I have here are baby bellas, which I absolutely love these. My favorite mushroom is the baby bella. You can do this with really just about any mushrooms you'd like. I've seen people use shiitake. I've seen some people use a combination of shiitake, button. One thing I wouldn't do, I would not use big bellas for this. Why waste a big, giant, beautiful portobello mushroom on a sauce? But you could, theoretically. I'm just taking the stems out. I've already brushed them off. And yes, you do not want to wash mushrooms. You want to brush them off. Mushrooms already have some water in them, but other than that, they're basically like big sponges, and you don't want to ruin the flavor that you're trying to impart the mushroom from a sauce or a dish or anything like that by filling them up with water. That, and when they release the water in the dish, you're going to dilute your sauce. So basically, you don't want really thin. You don't want too thin a slice, but you don't want too thick either. Just eyeball it. Because when you put this in the oil to cook it down, it's going to tighten up, and then you want to brown it. Everything's prepped. Sauce stuff's ready to go. The pork's ready to go. One last thing that we do have to do is roast some garlic. So what I'm going to do is get some aluminum foil, and we're going to chop the top off the garlic, put a little bit of olive oil on it, a little bit of salt and pepper, and then make a pouch with the aluminum foil and put that pouch on a baking sheet or an oven-safe dish. Put that in the oven at 440 to 45 minutes. When it comes out, it should be nice and pasty and tasty. And then we can use that in the mushroom sauce, and I'm going to use some of the mashed potatoes. All right, so garlic's out of the oven. It's been roasted. See how this looks. I wanted to let it cool for a few minutes because, well, hot things in the oven get hot, you know. So there you go. You squeeze it and you get this nice paste of garlic when you squeeze one of the toes. This is gonna go into mashed potatoes, and it'll probably get used in the sauce with the mushrooms, and there we go. Easy peasy. And so the mashed potatoes are really just 5 russet potatoes, cubed, boiled till they're soft. Then I added roughly 4 or 5 of those roasted garlic toes, along with some butter, probably roughly about a half a stick to 3/4 of a stick of butter, some milk, and some Parmesan cheese. Just mix that up until I got the consistency I wanted. Then I added some salt, pepper, and garlic powder, and looked like it ended up adding a little bit more salt to it with a dash of cayenne to get the flavor completely rounded. But that's pretty much what went into this one. All right, so we're getting the pan's nice and hot right now. We're gonna add some olive oil to it, and then we'll. There you go. You want that oil to dance like that right away. See how nice and hot that is? That's what we call. That's what I call dancing oil. So you're gonna throw the right there, and that guy right there. So we want to get a nice hard sear on all four sides. If you look already, it's only been a few minutes, but you can, I don't know if you can tell on the screen or not, but right at the bottom, you can kind of see that line where it's starting to cook. Right along down in here. That's going to start coming up. The harder it sears, that's going to be kind of the thermometer for when to flip it. There you go. Just want right there. All right, into the oven, 375. So when they come out the oven, you want to make sure that they are good with positive. You want to check the temperature at, you want 145 at least for pork. These measured 153 and 151, so they were done, they were positive. Move them over to the cutting board, let them rest, and while they're resting, we'll get started with the sauce. All right, when the pork's done, you're going to pull that out, set that to rest on a cutting board or something, and then get started with the sauce. You're going to use a First thing you're going to add is the onions. Use those to scrape up all the little flavor bits off the bottom of the pan. And once those are kind of browned up and nice and soft, we're going to go ahead and add in the mushrooms and a little bit of olive oil. So once the mushrooms are in, you're probably going to have to add a little bit of oil or butter to help give them a little bit more moisture. Just go ahead and do so. You want to cook those until they start to brown on the edges. And once that happens, then you'll add in the roasted garlic as well as whatever herbs you have set on the side. I use the mixture of parsley, thyme, and oregano. And we're going to put just enough chicken stock in here to deglaze the bottom of the pan. So that's like maybe a tablespoon or two. I'll hit it with some heavy cream and a little bit of salt, pepper, and garlic powder. We just want this to simmer long enough to thicken up. This is looking nice and thick, so we're going to kill the heat here and just warm up the other two sides, and then we'll be able to plate up. I like to slice on an angle because it looks pretty, and that's what they say to do with all the fancy people.